How's it going, everybody? Appreciate hearing from the chief yesterday, by the way. I would love to meet the chief someday. There's no doubt about it. And it's Chief Howling Wolf, not Chief Howling Moon. But hey, let's don't be so silly today. And let's just try to be productive. Love you guys, by the way. And we love the chief. And where did we really finish off yesterday? Y'all, I can't even begin to tell you how much there's just look how much I put in the prep today. I mean, you want to talk about a productive day, but let's see if I can put it in a video. Max said, "Hey, Trey, me again. I've not stopped watching, just been doing my own digging. You're a numbers guy, very much so. I don't mean that there aren't other things to do with numbers that other people wouldn't, the Lord would use them or, but I see the world through numbers and just always have. I've just been reading numbers. I'm assuming he's talking about the book of Numbers, and came on to share something with you. And lo and behold, you're talking about numbers. LOL, insane. Yeah, the book of Numbers, the census. Anyway, take the census, put it on a spreadsheet. Oh, wow. Per paragraph. So I guess I've never read the book of Numbers, but I guess as you do it, and I've never been into like Bible decodes. There's people that do that, and I think some Jews do that, and the Talmud do that, and I've never wanted to take God's word and put it into numbers. I just haven't been called to that. Again, this was something that just how y'all watch my mind work ever since I was a child. My thing was through multiplication. Like if my birthday is July 6, 1961, 7 times 6 times 1961, and that made my number 82362. And that was just something I had been doing all through decades and decades. And I had a set of very special numbers. It was 2, 24, 27, 38, 42, 45. Add those together, it came to 178. And but 24, 27 plus 42 plus 45, which would be my 4 main numbers, that came to 138. And of course, 38 was one of the other 2. I don't know. So, and then I just had all this crazy. Then, of course, I was an astrologer. And, but of course, we know that, and we know that you should never mess with astrology at all. We look at it only to just sometimes to get an idea of where eclipses are, or like we'll get into today, this Mercury in retrograde. TheologyEd, watched one of his videos and was blown away by some things that I saw, and I'm going to share them with you. And but anyway, put it on a spreadsheet, row per paragraph, and the column for each tribe, clan, son, father. Put the numbers in. You find anything strange with Gad? Well, like I said, I don't know. I'm just not called to do that. But if you want to, you can email me a spreadsheet. I'd be glad to look at it, or make a YouTube video of it yourself. And I'll watch the video and go through the video with everybody. I mean, I'd be glad to. That just sounds like a lot of work. If it's not a lot of work, let me know though, Mac. So I wanted to go back and revisit Loose Chain, since we're looking at all these dates again. We only got 15th, TikTok, December 10, December 8, December 5th, May 15th, Tom Hardy, and Angel White. The AI YouTube site that has really exposed Trump for who he is, but of course they teach a false doctrine. St. Patty's Day. Remember I said something about Patrick. My friend Adam said, well, Matrix could be the mother of lies if Patrick is the father of lies. What was it that made me say Patrick was the father of lies? And anyway, I thought about St. Patrick's Day. But what was it about Patrick? that made me say, I can't remember. It was in my Trump Antichrist videos, but Matrix would be the mother of lies. Ma. One's mother. So that would be the goddess or Lucifer. Matrix. The mother of tricks or lies. I can't remember where the Patrick. Seriously, I've forgotten. Anyway, loose change in American coup came to total eclipse of the moon, which a total eclipse of the moon is a lunar eclipse. I just want to make sure that a total eclipse of the moon wasn't a solar eclipse or vice versa. And so I looked it up. It said a total eclipse, lunar eclipse, the moon is completely obscured by the dark center of the Earth's shadow, giving the moon a dark reddish hue. That's what Trump was born under. So loose change, an American coup, which was the best documentary by far of the Twin Towers coming down, comes to total eclipse of the moon, which would make you think he would go down on a total eclipse of the moon. Now, we have a total eclipse coming up now. There's another one coming up 2 days after the anniversary of Jerusalem becoming a nation state. You know, of course, it's my Bible study tonight on TS Daily Bible Studies. I mean, boy, did we spend some time with that one. And I stopped, did the Benjamin Netanyahu video of him. I don't know. Just watch it, you'll see. Please subscribe to this channel. I have gotten 70 maybe new subscribers in the last week. I don't know where they've come from. I don't know how this has happened. I stayed at the same amount for many, many months, and all of a sudden, boom, we're just, so I don't know how that's working, but we're like all of a sudden 200 I mean, I was at 170 forever. Now I'm like at 260 something maybe. But the Bible study channel, I want that to grow. That's what needs to grow. And any of y'all can find me on Facebook anytime. I like to collaborate with people there for sure. And I share my Bible studies there and just tell a lot of the truth there. But if you go back to this channel, got 254 subscribers. That's what it is. I was at 170 just last week. I mean, well, it says I've gained 73 subscribers in the last 28 days. I will tell you, well, that's how it measures it in the last 28 days. But those 73 have come in the last week. So I'm not really sure what's going on. Again, I don't monetize my channel. I could care less if there's 12 of us because we got our regulars that comment a lot or okay. You know, let's go over some comments. Might as well click that while we're there. I see a bad moon. Oh yeah, I just read through that one. And they said the mark, what did they say? They said the MOTB was the VAX. And I just said, MOTB can't be the VAXX. View this playlist. It's very important to understand what all must be taking place for the mark of the beast. You have to have an Antichrist that's returned from the dead. You have to go through the Bible to know what the mark of the beast is. And buying and selling is a very minute part, but you have a false prophet who's making fire flash down from heaven to the earth in the sight of men. You have an Antichrist that's returned from the deadly wound. So it's just like Jesus.
All right. This is going to be.
It's just like Jesus rose from the dead to give you eternal life, and the subsequent protocols that take place that, of course, he pulls you through. You don't have any free will to do it. And that's what we teach here. We teach the truth on that at that Bible study channel as we go through the Bible, and all my channels, really. But the Antichrist is going to have a protocol. I've returned from the dead. I'm saving the earth. 2 billion people have just died. You just about killed yourselves here in World War III. That began because of my death, because that's what will kick it off. The rider on the white horse receives a crown. I believe it's Hebrews 2:9, where Jesus's death was his crowning. And so when a crown is given to the Antichrist, he doesn't really die, but that's the white horse. Said he had a bow. And of course, Trump has a Sagittarian moon. And that's the only thing I could think of when it says he has a bow. I don't know. It could be totally something else. I'm certainly not dogmatic about that. That's a hunch about what he has a bow, or he had a bow and a crown, but a crown given to him will be his fake death, the twin Trumps that go down, and the one that comes back up is the One World Trade Center. That's when he returns from the dead. And I know my regulars know all this stuff, and I usually just do videos 2 and 4 as I'm speaking to my regulars, but I am getting a lot of new subscribers, so I'm just kind of going over some stuff. Let's keep going. By the way, loose change in American coup comes to Trump will be executed. And also total eclipse of the moon. Now, I do want to show y'all that next year, y'all know how we just had October 7th casket put on Trump's Star Hall of Fame. The following day, October 8th, No Time to Die comes out. And then October 9th, Trump speaks at a rally. Well, next year on October 9th is a full lunar eclipse. And 8/7 was the casket. So I could be looking, I theoretically could be telling y'all it's next October. Yeah. And this right here plays right into it. Trump will be executed, total lunar eclipse. Well, that's next October. That could be next October 9th. It doesn't have to be this one. So, I mean, there's a lot of things. And by the way, that's the harvest moon. So we could be a year away. I hate to bring you down like that because I know we're all excited. Now, just to show you how TheologyEd is controlled opposition, and I've always known that he is. I shouldn't say I've always known that he is, but watch the 18 to 1807. He's going to give you the Sirius, the dog star. And there's a AI site that codes how dogs in movies are it's all about the dog star. And you, of course, had the dog in Back to the Future.
Tsunami is that exact. He actually had stolen her code.
And so he's got the dogs playing on purpose. And I think when the bikes go by, that's, if you remember in Back to the Future, it was the bikers and Back to the Future, you had the bikers. And in Donnie Darko, he had the Triumph motorcycle. Triumph means Trump, of course, t-shirt. And so
and used it for the NPCs of the game.
Commentary, fair use commentary.
Sorry about some of the background noise.
I've got dogs
barking outside. I got motorcycles driving.
Dog Star motorcycles. And of course, the bikers were all about Trump. And that's so.
Up the hill out here. But, you know.
So TheologyEd's controlled op just like they all are. 10.7 thousand, you better believe it. That's how it works. That's how the game is played. Bikers 2 and before 1900, Mercury in retrograde. So as he gets on to telling the story,
Antoine, the dog's barking off. Okay, first,
she's got a Mercury in retrograde shirt. He's going through this movie, Free Guy, and she's wearing Mercury in retrograde. Now, that is occurring right now through the 18th. And next year, I don't think it's occurring. So but when he read what Mercury in retrograde is and was, talks about a time of chaos. And he says it lasts a few weeks after the actual retrograde. So, you know, we're still on a heightened state of what have you. There's no doubt that we're looking at this lunar eclipse. And I'm still looking at the 18th of December, you know, and I'm still looking at February 15th, and I'm still looking at May 14th, 15th, and the full moon of that 16th. And I'm still looking at that supermoon on Trump's birthday. But you can't not also look at the lunar eclipse of next year. And the Mercury in retrograde, I have those in this prep just to show you. But in the movie Free Guy, which is all about AI and artificial intelligence, she's wearing a Mercury in retrograde t-shirt. Mercury in retrograde in 2022 does go through October 2nd. So that 9th does fall into that. He said it lasts an extra 2 weeks before and after. I don't know, whatever. It does though. Yeah, that's pretty much it as far as affecting any of our full moon dates. Oh no, I'm sorry. Remember May 16th is the one in where I said that's 2 days after May 14th, which is the Israel anniversary date when Israel was established, which is nothing more than Mystery Babylon, the Mystery Babylon, excuse me, great city. And I really detail that in tonight's 27-minute Bible study, a little longer than usual, but you'll see why. Again, TS Daily Bible Studies, check it out. They want you to think it's other places. They always have. They want you to think it's the VAT, ICAN, Benjamin Netanyahu. They want you, they want you to think it's NYC. But Benjamin Netanyahu was boasting about that right there. And he was also, we also know there's a pyramid with an all-seeing eye on top of the Supreme Court there. And it clearly states in Revelation 11:8, that great city. Well, if it's the great city in Revelation 11, it's the same great, it can't be more than one great city. And so the great city of Mystery Babylon is more detailed in Revelation 18. And we get back to the great city. And it talks about when Jesus said, of course, in Matthew 23, I think it's 37, O Jerusalem, that killeth the prophets. And of course, in Revelation 18:24, talks about that great city that killeth the prophets. So it's where the Antichrist declares himself to be God. Stand in the holy place, Jesus said in Matthew 24:15. Let the reader understand. And he tells them, when you see this take place, y'all that be in Judea, where it's taking place, flee. And who's he talking to? Of course, he's talking to the remnant of the Jews who still believed up until that time that the temple was a holy place. That's why it's called a holy place, because a lot of that is for the remnant, the Jew. And that's how we have to understand that. Yes, we know that our body is a temple, but the Antichrist doesn't stand in the body of a sheep and declare himself to be God. Only a sheep's body is the temple, and sheep were preordained from the foundation of the world. There's no free will. It's not man. It's not man's body is a temple. Man's body is not a temple. A sheep's body is a temple, and an Antichrist man cannot stand inside of a sheep's body and declare himself to be God. Jesus specifically said, when you see the abomination of desolation, stand in the holy place. Let the reader something understand. And then a few verses later, when you see this take place in Judea, or maybe it's the same one, same verse, flee. I guess I shouldn't butcher that all up. Let's just quickly do it right and go to therefore, when you see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place. Whoso readeth, let him understand, and let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. Well, why is he telling them in Judea if it's all about something that's going to be poked in somebody's ARM? I mean, come on, people. So, you go through these PSYOP YouTube sites that they run, and they tell you so much truth, just like Alex Jones told you a ton of truth, but then he backed Trump. But didn't Alex Jones tell you a ton of truth there for a while? Well, of course, that's how they lure you in. Let's keep going. I've got to cook dinner. There's a full August moon on 8/11. 8 times 11 is 88. It's a sturgeon full moon. I thought that was interesting. The buck to the sturgeon, because it's all about that buck moon. I don't even know why I was looking at that. That really didn't really turn out to be much. Somebody is about to get SHOT 34 minutes in. Let's go back. This is that movie that Theology Ed was breaking down. And what did we say it was at 34 minutes in? We might get a commercial here. In the movie, they say somebody's about to get shot.
And when he starts to break the routine, he startles everybody, and they're going to shoot him. They finally say somebody's about to get shot.
Oh, and they got the rabbit.
Talk to him a bit. He gets confused because
there's a rabbit.
Let's see here.
There's a rabbit in the movie. There's something to do with a rabbit in the movie. And I don't sit there and equate all of that to like he does 2020 per se. Sort of, yes, but it could be layered with other stuff. The barbed wire, the lockdowns, yes, I get it. And he could be totally right about that. I'm just going to keep moving. But you see the Donnie Darko rabbit, and this movie has a rabbit, and something to do with a rabbit then states somebody's about to get shot. So
they're gonna go talk to him a bit. He gets confused because he thinks he doesn't realize he's in a video game. He thinks he's just a real guy, and like take your skin off.
So I had to speed it up to 2 speeds so I don't get a copyright strike. But there's a rabbit in the movie. You can see him standing there in a pink. Isn't there a pink full moon also? The names of the full moons. And so I don't know how many days from a pink full moon. From the rabbit full moon. When is the pink full moon? April 26th, I guess, of this year. So anyway, that rabbit is dressed in pink. So you have to be you have to wonder, like a birthing. Is that 9 months from July? You go August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. That's 9 months. So from the buck full moon to the pink full moon, and you saw a pink rabbit, you could be going through a birthing process. So anyway, he says somebody, and then it is said due to this rabbit or something like that. Well, it says right here, seriously, man, I'm just being honest. I think the bunny suit is just a little bit much. Excuse me? Right, rabbit. Okay, my fault. Hey, 40-year-old virgin, get over here. Let's go. Captain Caius, come on, bud. Let's go closer. There he, oh, I thought that's when he was going to say somebody's about to get shot.
Right, kill you, we're gonna keep killing you, I'm gonna ban you for life. Basically, I don't understand where these commands life imply. How do I die? Keep dying, and then after I'm dead, you ban. Right, that's so weird. And
Let's just move it along a little bit. Okay, here we go. And there's the pink bunny. It's got blue eyes, just like Trump. Guy, still why until we find out who you are, and then we're going to ban you for life. Guy says, okay, no, okay, I want to comply. I just want to find the order of these threats very confusing. And then somebody says somebody's about to get shot. Light them up or something like that. So interesting. An American coup, since it's loose change, an American coup. I did American coup. Happy Easter, Taco Tuesdays, Solar Eclipse, March 11th, Apollo 11, Lucky Charms, Kathy Griffin, Veterans Day, The Last Days, this October, calm before, that could be any year, calm before the deaths. October 9th, full lunar eclipse. This is next year, right? Yeah, 2022. And this is all their full moons next year. It's coming January 17th, which is, I think, MLK Day. Then you got the snow full moon, which that's all it was doing, was snowing. And I Pet Goat began with snow. It's all about snow. The Weeknd, who performs last year's Illuminati halftime show, his birthday is the 16th. There's just, of course, the girl that sang No Time to Die, James Bond, her birthday is December 18th, which is the December full moon coming up, the one I like. And she had a boyfriend named Q. So the hits just keep on coming. I mean, but you got the pink moon, April 16th. You got the flower moon, May 16th. That's 2 days after the Israeli anniversary. Trump could be there in Israel. He could get capped over there in Israel as they celebrate an anniversary. He could get capped over there on the 14th. And rise on the third day on a flower full moon. Okay. Then you got strawberry moon, which is on his birthday. Again, I think the names of all these moons are all about Trump and his offing and or the abomination of desolation. You just don't know. We're back to the buck on the 13th. Sturgeon on 88. I'm sorry, on 88, because the 8th month times the 11th day is 88. So you got one that could be there. And then you're talking the harvest. Ooh, the harvest moon, they're calling it on September 10th. No. Hang on a second. Harvest moon 2021.
September 20th.
We already missed it.
Here's a summary from Earth Sky. This hemisphere's harvest moon comes on September 20th.
So Neil Young, harvest moon.
According to Wikipedia,
There it is. That's September, y'all. Ain't even this one. And it's next September 10th. What is the one called in October? Names of full moons, inverse. Full moon calendar, inverse, 2021.
Here's a summary from Inverse. Here are the dates of every.
For some reason, I just like this site. I don't know why. But I shouldn't, because I guess it's the one that's confused me. There it is, September 20th, harvest moon. October 20th is the blood moon. It says harvest moon. That's why I said it. The blood moon is also called the travel moon, dying grass moon, hunter's moon, harvest moon. And okay. The blood moon or a blood moon? What is the name of the October moon? Full moon, stupid. It's called a hunter's moon. Well, they call it harvest moon here also. That's what threw me off. That's why I said we got a harvest moon coming up. This is the hunter's moon. The previous one was the harvest moon, but they also call this one the harvest moon. Well, I'm a little confused. And y'all see why I'm confused. This website confused me. Harvest moon, October 2021.
Here is information from space.com.
Ain't giving him no credit for it being a harvest moon. Is there a harvest moon in October? October harvest moons occur on an average of every 5 years, although there are variations on October moon. 2028. Our next October harvest moon will be October 6, 2025. So why does this site here call it the harvest moon? That's the site I was going by. And that's what got me on the whole Neil Young thing and his band Crazy Horse. And it got us all, I don't know. I'm just going to keep moving on. Just got to keep, you know, stay focused. So, and then December 7th. Is what? Oh, that's the full moon. October 9th, there's one. Then it's November 8th, which is 11 times 8 again is 88. Because there's one on August 11th, and then there's one on November 8th. So both of them come to 88. Then you've got one on December. You got a full moon on December 7th, which is Pearl Harbor Day. Do you follow what I'm saying? I mean, you got a solar eclipse on October 30th. I always think, like, when this began last year at the end of 2019, there was a solar eclipse in December, and then the illness started coming about in late December. And Into the Stars, who's also controlled opposition, made a big deal out of that being I at least really feel strongly Into the Stars as controlled opposition. He throws way too much stuff out in way too much of a short amount of time. And I don't buy it. I don't buy that it's a one-man operation at all. And I think he leads you to fear, and he started selling you that the pokey pokey poke was the MOTB. And he's all about free will. There is no such thing as man's free will to make a decision for salvation. That is, well, Let me just tell you, Martin Luther hated it. Martin Luther hated it. But Erasmus, who wrote Textus Receptus, the received text, is who chose the fifth definition for cosmos in John 3:16. For God so loved the cosmos was what the word was. And the first definition would have fit. For God so loved his harmonious arrangement. Ephesians 1:4-5, he chose us in him before the foundation of the world. Everything was said. He knew his sheep before the world began. That's election, predestination. You cannot tear out all of that out of the Bible. The Bible is written cryptically for a reason. Jesus spoke in parables. And that's why one of the characters of the villains of Batman, the Antichrist, is the Riddler, because Jesus spoke in parables. And they said, Jesus, why do you speak to them in parables? He said, for you it is meant to know the mysteries of the kingdom. For them it is not meant to know. So I teach on election predestination very strongly. Hell is not eternal torment. They're raised, they're judged, they receive a second death. That's all on my playlist on my Telling Truth Archives channel. It's Telling Truth Archives, Telling Truth Archives. Click playlist, go down there, watch all that. But Martin Luther said, if any man ascribes to anything of salvation, even the very least thing, to the free will of man, he knows nothing of grace, and he has not learned Jesus Christ rightly. Because they always give you grace, Ephesians 2:8-9, but they never give you verse 10. For we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus, unto the good works which God hath before ordained that we walk in them. Plain and simple. Before ordained when? Go back to Ephesians 1, previous chapter. Before the foundation of the world. Sheep are born sheep. Goats are born goats. Sheep are born lost. It clearly states in Revelation 17:8, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world. Everything is said. God's declared the end from the beginning. That's Isaiah 46:10. From ancient times that things have not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, I will do my pleasure. This is all this is a gigantic theater, movie, whatever you want to call it, where God's the director, the writer, producer, and he even came and started a cameo appearance. Satan does the evil of God, and it says that in Isaiah 45:7, I create evil, I create darkness, I, the Lord, do all these things. And Proverbs 16:4, and I created, the wicked for the day of evil, which of course is the abomination of desolation day. That's Proverbs 16:4 and Isaiah 45:7. Read them. God is telling you he has created all the evil in this world for a very specific purpose. It's to purge the sheep. Because in Acts 14:22, we all must go through much tribulation to enter the kingdom. If you're not suffering tribulation, and I don't mean politically, I mean because you tell the truth. You don't take part in Christmas. You don't celebrate birthdays. You don't celebrate Christmas. You don't celebrate Easter. You have nothing to do with their pagan world. I'm not going to get into birthdays. If you want to know, just ask. But this is getting too long as it is. Let's keep going. Let's don't just keep going. Let's wrap it up. Solar eclipses in 2022. I think I'm near the end. It's April 30th. And October 25th next year. So those were our key dates to look for, which is right before the May event of the May blood moon, which 2 days before that is May 14th, but it's May 16th is that blood moon. Hang on just a quick second. Oh my goodness. I just thought of this while I was Y'all, I had to take a break. I had to go make an apple. I had to start dinner. I mean, I got to get to bed. Y'all aren't going to believe this. And I've got to eat while I do this. I got to eat this apple or I eat my meal. Hunter's Moon. Do y'all remember the video I just got through doing about 2 weeks ago? That showed strange angel, and there was that we couldn't find it. And they were hunting, and they killed the beast on a lunar eclipse. Remember that? There it is right there. That's the thumbnail. Sword. That's the beast that gets killed on a blood. You see all the redness on a blood red moon. And they're hunting. He had a bow, and there's the bow. And a crown was given unto him. Well, that's his death. Remember how mad I was at myself? Hey, Chief, what do you think, man? Look at that. Wow. I got mad at myself because I tried to go through this video, but I just kept on and being droning and droning. I was like, get to the point. By the sword, gets hit. He hits the beast. What? So, why not the hunter's moon? Killed by a hunter. Are y'all with me? Somebody said, hey, and we've known this, but it was no, let's go back over it. Donald means world ruler. You can freeze and read that. That came from a lady's post. Triple Talk said, have you ever wondered why Melania always calls him the Donald? Well, they always have. A lot of people call him. I used to watch his show. Everybody called him the Donald. All the celebrities did. The world ruler. Love it. Love it. Thank you, Triple Talk. And again, I do apologize for eating. I've got to eat. So Jimbo Fisher, stage. College football is very staged, very fake. He grew up 20 miles. Jimbo Fisher and Nick Saban did. And they, of course, gave his neighbor, probably cousins, they just don't tell you, Nick Saban, his first defeat from a former assistant coach. I think it was, the record was 19-0. So you have to look at the 19th of this month, which is the day before that blood moon. And why did we like that blood moon? Because from full moon to full moon, it's 88 days. We showed us that. We showed that last night. And that's everything. Save that for the last. There's probably people that quit watching the video when they found out it's not a harvest moon. Unbelievable. All right, love y'all.